This report covers a problem in central Maine. This problem is actually a problem seen worldwide, but this report focused on a smaller population. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary states that a community is people with common interests living in a particular area. The central Maine location was the specific area or community that was discussed in the formal report. Here is a picture of Maine, and it is focused in on the central Maine area. Some towns in central Maine are Augusta, Oakland, Winslow, and Fairfield. This is a picture of Augusta. A drug, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is a substance that's not food used to affect the structure or function of the body. Drug abuse is when a person uses a drug too much or uses when they should not. Prescribed medication should only be taken when and how a pharmacist suggests. Only the person prescribed the medication should take it. Medication that can be bought at the store should only be taken as the containers say. Drug abuse becomes an addiction. This shows a picture of what drug abuse can do to a human brain. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that the overuse of substances, referred to as an addiction, is a chronic disease. Here is another picture of severe drug use, the effects seen on the human brain. It's kind of broken the brain up into 3 parts, and it kind of shows the circle of what drug abuse does to the brain. The withdrawal is a really hard one. The binge and intoxication is also. Anticipation. It puts a stress on the human brain. It's something that the human brain cannot control, which is why drug abuse is an addiction. As stated, drug abuse is a chronic disease that controls the human brain. Many types of drugs, like opioids, attach to the brain's different receptors. This action makes the user struggle operating their day-to-day lives. The longer the drugs are used, the worse the brain is affected, the worse the withdrawals will be, and the harder it will be for the addict to quit. Here is another picture of the brain. Every part of the brain is affected by different types of drugs, the side effects of being addicted to those drugs. Although abusing drugs hurts the human body, stopping the use hurts the addict in other ways. An addict, for example, can actually feel pain when withdrawing from a drug. This withdrawing leads to a drug abuse more than likely occurring again. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that withdrawals from drugs leads to nausea, muscle aches, depression, and many other sad side effects that a person cannot control once they are addicted. This picture shows a healthy brain, the activity in it, versus a non-healthy brain, one that is on drugs. They look completely different. Clearly, drug abusers lose a lot of control over themselves, but they also lose control over their relationships. Loved ones, both family members and friends, are affected. Strangers may also be affected. There's fear that goes along with abusing drugs. The fear can make people worry about things that could happen or may have happened in the past that could possibly happen again, or something that's unforeseen. What about help that a drug abuser may need? Communities are affected by drugs in ways such as healthcare, money needed, and efforts going towards those abusing drugs. And also, there's a lack of population at certain events in communities because drug abuse occurs. Drug abuse is an addiction that needs to be focused on. There are ways to help those affected by drug abuse. People need to talk to those affected and let them know they are not alone. There are meetings set up throughout the state, and even more meetings would probably be more helpful. They are people that they need help. They need to be able to express themselves in a safe environment. Hospitals help with physical issues as well as educating community members of the effects of drug abuse. More social media platforms need to be set up for those affected by drug abuse. If they are set up, there will be even more outlets to help others. Knowing people care and accept them is an important fact that drug abusers and those affected by drug abuse need to know. Withdrawing from drugs is not easy and is a long process if successful. Because it's so hard, people can start abusing drugs again, which can lead to death. This chart represents facts for the state of Maine. Facts on the numbers of overdose deaths. And it all started with drug abuse. In conclusion, more help is needed in Central Maine with drug abuse. Those affected by drug abuse need to know they are not alone. Drug abuse is a brain disease that has many harsh side effects. Kicking the addiction is very hard because of the positive and negative feelings that come with being addicted to drugs. Friends, family members, and others that are affected by drug abuse feel like they may not belong at times, or they feel as if there's not enough knowledge out there, or enough helping hands, or enough outlets to share their experiences. More help can be seen if there's more meetings that occur and more social media platforms that are talking about this issue. Central Maine needs to stand united and make sure we do not judge the members a part of Central Maine, all of them. Hopefully more help can lead to Central Maine's drug abuse issue ending.